but gambling back here. Last player for FaZe. He's on the outside, and it's Incilio again to take the shots, to put the nails in the coffin of FaZe's game. But they are on 55 blank. They are on 15th place, and Loops could push them down. Sure.
Westrom with 5 nades could spell the doom of BTR. Misses every single DPS shot, but does find another. But that will be game over for BTR as well. Loops starting to rack up points in terms of the placements, and FaZe are fearing for their lives.
55 points is the mark. Loops will start to earn placements. You're right. This position, good for them. And Xavier, of course, they're still here to play. Incilio on 10 eliminations this match have been ruthless, eliminating everybody left and right. BTR up to 60 points blank. They're looking safe. And Xavier looking to move through them. This fight, it concludes one way or the other, but both teams are safe into this one. Incilio have 10 elims. They're looking a little bit more healthy as well. And they're looking good to take the top spot from Group Red. How much higher up the tables can they go? A lot of Group Green players in their way. Have Loops taken a lot of damage? It looks like they're not super healthy here, Blank. Goodness me, what's happened over there?
Taking shots. Someone spotted them. Someone spied those two players. And at 7th place right now, it's not a massive amount of placement points. And it's not enough. They've got 0 elims. But Mirin Sejong, this is a perfect opportunity to leapfrog them. So Loops need to live. That is the only goal in their mind right now.
2 players. Can they stand the test? The nade goes long over towards Nade T from Incilio. On this north side, this fight is going to get pushed out by the blue zone. 2 seconds to blue touch. And they'll have to move south towards Loops. Towards the duo. And Mirin Sejong waiting in the wings. Have a scrap on their hands with IWNRX across the way. Lamborghini moving forwards. Redlick going down, getting flushed. Xavier continue to take this fight into control, but it's wrested back from them. The step forward's not going to connect, and 6 elims. The final game is there. They get over that 110-point boundary blank. They're up to, what is that, 113 with the placements they get. And one step closer for Loops to those placement points they so desperately need.
Oh, Jimmy, it's so down to the wire. But Mirin Sejong similarly putting up those points in terms of placement. I think FaZe might just go out at this rate. Pretty much for Loops at the moment. I was going to say Lays, but it's Loops. Loops' only hope is to continue living onwards. For FaZe, their only hope is that Loops goes down next. They have to go out in a 6th place. It's the only way.
They are under threat, actually, though, from the north side, from Incilio. Vash and Westron. You see their position not great, and their meds obviously not really there either. To heal it up. Their position should... You can see Vash very...
IWNRX stands. They absolutely made their way through. Incilio has eyes on. Players are currently safe, and the circle will keep them in. Does Incilio look to push onto this? That is the question. This will be a decent position for the play, and they're looking to move up now. 6th place will be a death sentence. They spot 1. Nino takes a bunch of damage. There's no clap back coming through from Rafinha either, but Nade's starting to pour in over the top. This is such bad news for Loops, but such good news for FaZe.
And good news for Mirin Sejong as well. A potential opener here. It's all up to Rafinha. Survive or die, but the burn is in.
Oh, no.
And the fire at his feet takes him down. Loops eliminated. 53 points now the mark. And Mirin Sejong, with the placement that they get, They've overtaken it. Blank. They've already done it.
I think they might just have in 5th place. It is game over for Loops. I think it's 54 to 55 for Loops and FaZe, but for Mirror and Sejong, those points are only going to tally up higher. And Mirror and Sejong, they're well prepared. They say, as they sub Uriel out once again for Suck on the final match of the day. And lo and behold, a chicken dinner potentially on the cards.
Goodness me. I mean, they are neck and neck with the placements racking up 1 point per place now. That is the extra point they needed to draw level, and Mirror and Sejong have a chicken dinner already, which should break that tiebreaker. They have done enough. South Korea has another chance. Inactive for Inko. He'll go down. And now 4 rosters remain. Incilio up to IWNRX. Mirror and Sejong look at a sweep through on Becca, and the placement's now breaking that tiebreaker. Mirror and Sejong push their way past.
Into the top 16 and that last chance. Last chance for them to sub out a player as well, but they seem to make that happen nonetheless. And Mirror and Sejong, despite doing absolutely nothing inside of this lobby thus far, we're now on placement points alone.
Survival has always been the name of the game, and survive they will. A nade over the top from Incilio, and this is a massive game. Hang on a minute, 16 eliminations from the north side. I guess we've been pretty focused on what's been going on with our bubble teams, but Incilio making a break for a potential very high scoring
game. I think they might take first place.
That's a bit far. They started on 75. And it's 100 and what, like 15 they have to try and beat. So I think that might be a bit of a over-exaggeration. But they're really bloody strong this match.
I think you'd be surprised.
Okay.
Never mind.
They're down.
Not anymore. If they got the chicken dinner...
Whoa, hang on a minute. Mirror Sejong, chicken dinner.
Yeah,
talk about that.
Chicken dinner, 10 points. Perfect. I mean, if they got the chicken dinner, they might have overtaken them because it's 30 points. Or would they? They would have been 105. So just 1 point behind. Either way... No, with the eliminations they would have got against Mirror and Sejong, they would have taken it. But great work from Incilio. Honestly, one of the most improved teams in the entirety of this tournament. But Mirror and Sejong, they use the wise old tactic. Do nothing and win.
And resub back in, Jason, to make sure that you qualify. You know what? 7, where you at, man? Go interview the coach again. Ask him why he decided to sub Jason back in. Considering
we need answers.
We made a mistake.
Not qualified anymore. A slight mistake here, but they do it at the finish line here. Mirror and Sejong will knock out. Unfortunately for them, Loops Esports will not be advancing on through, and we'll get a better check in once we see our overalls a little bit later on here. But you know, Max, you want to see them close it out with a win? And you got them to close it out with a win.
Yeah, still lacking a few eliminations maybe, but you know what? I'll take it. And I do get what Blank is saying. Like, they did nothing. I do think they were doing something on the southern side, which is making sure they don't get backfilled. And if a team came their way, they would have kept them really, really heavily. That just didn't end up happening. But like the idea, I think, behind that positioning and what they would have done if a team came their way was solid. But we have to highlight this last game before we go on like the overarching conversation of who made it. Bro, Becca was in that warehouse center and no one went there in absolute fear of 1 or 2 teams being up there. He just had that entire compound for himself. Like, he had a field day.
More of that, please, for him and Major Pride if they can continue momentum going into tomorrow. I mean, that's the up and downside, right? Yeah, things do stabilize a little bit here if you made it into last chance because you know the 16 or the 15 other teams you have to play against. That means drop locations will be kind of set a little bit more, not rotating groups, but also realizing if you didn't play well here in survival stage and you made it into last chance, what realistically are your chances to be qualified into the grand finals? I mean, it's top 6. Top 16 was already hard enough for some of these teams, but then to have to jump now to top 6, it just might be insurmountable.
For those who barely qualified, I think Hodrix, it is going to be quite tough to now go from just barely qualifying into now you have to compete for top 6 in a very, even more competitive lobby than what we initially had in the survival stage. Though, if there's any team I have to give like props to that I think have a chance to be top 6, it is Incilio. Like, I don't know what happened, but today, Jason, they are a completely different beast, just sweeping northeastern edge, going for third parties, holding these high ground positions to just completely obliterate teams all around them. More of that, please.
Yeah, more of that, please, indeed. I mean, I do agree. I mean, it's so crazy because these rosters are just so insane, pretty much from the top on down. I think, when it comes to that last chance, they just got to kind of reset in their head. Just be like, hey, you know what? New day, new tournament. Let's just get it going and hopefully start off strong. I still think that we're going to see some surprises here. But at the same time, like in Sulio, hopefully they use that momentum, just going after today and just push it into the next match.
Oh, look at that damage taken. You barely have enough damage to knock one player. They took no damage this game. Oh, okay, I mean, a win's a win. You know what? A win's a win, MSJ. You take that to the bank.
I mean, a win is a win, yeah. But remember, tomorrow, once we start Last Chance, it's just 12 matches, right?
Yep.
You could have
2 days.
You could have one bad day, and there goes your hope of ever qualifying to the grand finals. Like, your consistency has to be off the charts here if you want to be able to qualify into the grand finals. And for some of these teams, consistency has not been their friend over the course of, well, this entire event.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect, really. There are some big names, I think, Jason, we expect to qualify pretty easily based off the performances we've seen, but like, that's like what, 4 teams I think could be big surprises in the top 6. Like, there's a lot of wiggle room as we do have this big reset, right, between survival and last chance. We're all going back to 0 points, so yeah, it's back to the starting blocks for these teams.
Oh man, I mean, especially you got, D plus Kia crushing it, Regnum Karya looking good. I want to kind of talk about some teams that I have concerns with, though, like some teams that I'm just like kind of like scared. Like, I'm really scared for 4MV. I'm not gonna lie, right? They've been just so off and on. It's been wild. I'm not confident in Team Falcons either. They make me quite nervous. So, I mean, anything could definitely happen. I think we're gonna definitely see some surprises coming up.
I think without a doubt, we're going to have some surprises. And that's kind of the upside and downside, is that if you don't qualify right away, it just becomes that much harder for you. But if we're maybe to talk about, some surprise teams in survival stage, Max already mentioned Incilio. Hot Jukes, who would you kind of throw in there as well that really surprised you over this last 3 days?
You know who surprised me so much and I feel is going to sneak into the top 6? I'm going to kind of put that out to the universe right now.
Inko!
It's the Vicious, dude. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those sneaky teams, right, that like they ended in 9th place. That's kind of the perfect place to end, right, because it's so in the middle of the leaderboards that no one's gonna be studying them super hard. They're all gonna be focused on the D plus Kias, D Xaviers when it comes to that homework. And if you don't keep an eye on this squad, they could definitely sneak one of those spots.
I mean, Max, considering they got in because Twisted Mind Brazil couldn't play, I don't think anyone had the Vicious on their radar, but we also saw them back in Group Yellow. Like, they were in 4th place for, I think, like 2 days in a row. Like, this was a team that definitely caught a lot of us off guard. I'm kind of surprised, and I almost want to see them qualify, because I think that would be ridiculous for their first run here at PMGC.
Yeah, I mean, Demonod in particular, as an individual player, really impressed me for the Vicious. So, yeah, I mean, for a team, as you said, Jason, that was not supposed to be here, this is a way better performance that I think 99% of the audience would expect out of this squad. So, we'll see how it's going to go in hopes of reaching top 6. But really, I have the impression, Jason, after all of these weeks now of this PMGC League stage, so many teams have significantly improved, taken every single day like a school day and just added what they've learned to their strats, to the way they rotate, to the way they fight, and have improved significantly. 3 teams that I have in mind right now that I'm telling you could be a threat going into tomorrow's matches and also in the last day on Sunday. RCB, Void Donkey ID, and of course now Incilio. I don't know what the hell happened, but they have improved at an insane rate that they could literally could be competing for a spot in London.
I mean, that's the thing, right? The momentum that you're carrying over. I'll give it to you this time, Jukes. You know how much I hate it, but the momentum meter for some of these teams is off the scale.
Let's go!
Having that momentum into just 2 days of play could be exactly what you need to get into PMGC.
I mean, it's all about, that mentality, because when you get to this stage, the mental game is so huge, and if you believe that you could do it, it's possible. Like, that's why, like, towards here, like, in the last game of the day, I wanted to see those hot drops, because I wanted to see teams that say, you know what, yeah, we're 20 points away, or 20 points plus, but we're gonna go for it, right? Let's give it a shot. And if you go for it, it can happen, right? If you don't, it's impossible. So once you're able to kind of get some good games underneath your belt, it's definitely great for your overall mentality. You got to be thinking, you know what, we're gonna be in those grand finals.
Man, this is kind of crazy. that Tiamba unfortunately faltering at the very end here.
Wild.
They were definitely one of my teams. I mean, they were super impressive back at PMWC, but we're just moments away from actually getting into our overalls to see which for sure 16 teams made it through. And
survival time. That's what you're getting.
This is quite an MVP.
It's just I survive, I'm MVP.
GG. Dude, take it to the bank. Hey, 1 assist, and that's all that matters.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
So that has to be MVP of the winning team, because there's no way someone from Encilio doesn't get MVP with the amount of elims they got.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, well, here is our overall rankings. These teams, I mean, not much movement here on the front page. As Itzy and Encilio get up to 3rd place, 100 points, 0 chicken dinnies.
That's actually a bigger step up than I initially thought. I mean, especially without a single chicken dinner, they're the only team on the first page, Jason, without a win, and yet they're in 3rd. Like, again, big improvement here. Their fragging potential is top tier, and I really hope we see a continuation of that in the last chance, because they've been incredible these last 3 days.
Oh man, I just want to get to the 2nd page. I wish I
want
had
to
a
see
button.
it so bad, dude.
I'll just make it swap over. I mean, we're not really expecting too much movement from the way that the last match played out. It was really generally only Mir and Sage.
Oh my god!
They're in? Loops?
Wait, FaZe is out?
Loops did it? My god! It's too strong! There's no way!
Wait,
They won the
There's no
tiebreaker.
way!
Is it
They
tiebreak?
won the tiebreaker, yeah. Same points, no chicken dinners, but they had more placements for loops.
It came down to a tie. 1 point, folks. Once again. Are you kidding me?
And I think the funniest thing is, wasn't the predicted bubble like 55 points?
It was. It was
on the
on
money.
the dot. FaZe didn't make it. Are you serious?
Oh wow! We say it
FaZe
many
isn't the only
times,
one.
right? The tiebreakers are going to be of the of the essence, and it was here, Jason.
That 1 point, just thinking back, right? This must be the most frustrating thing if you're FaZe. Like looking back, that like 1 elim that you could have confirmed but you didn't, cost you getting into last chance.
That hurts.
That 1 rotation, that 1 crash, that 1 misstep, that 1 person dying on your own team, potentially causing you to get into grand finals. Into last chance. That's crazy. But then again, it's not just them, right? It's Tiamba, Team Queso, Inko, Vampire, IA, G-Roy, and Zeus as well, who unfortunately will not advance on any further in the event. Crazy to see that the winner of PMSL SCA Fall, Vampire Esports, unfortunately falling here.
Yeah,
crazy.
It ain't a PMW.
I wanted to see it. I wanted to see that crazy,
Westrom.
just show up. But oh wow, yeah, look at that. I love to see that daily MVP, dude. Big ups for Encilio. These guys got to definitely be very proud of what they did today.
Yeah, I mean, 3 average elims per game for Westron is madness. I think most of those came from this last game, to be completely honest. And average survival time of over 23 minutes is also insane. And I'm really hoping this is not just like a big pop off and they're just going to go back to their previous playstyle. This, Encilio, I hope you're listening to this. What you've done today and throughout the survival stage is truly remarkable. It is the best plays we have yet seen from you guys, and I just want to see it continue in the next 2 days for this weekend, because this is the type of playstyle that qualifies you for grand finals of these global events. And if they do it again tomorrow and Sunday, top 6 is definitely in the question for them.
It's been too many events, Max. Or it's been not too many events. It's been too many days and too many weeks now that we haven't seen Westron's little move to the camera. I'm doing it on my end, but you can't see me, obviously, so it really makes no sense. But I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I'm talking about here, as we do see he's going to be topping out Gunslingers here with the most damage done in the lobby at 4,952. And take a look at this, though. It looks like it's just from... But is it from all survival stage? So no one from Group Green got it? Is that... I find that kind of surprising.
That's pretty wild. Yeah. That's pretty crazy, considering that every single Group Green team made it, guys. First off, like, I mean, that is crazy. That is crazy in itself. And to not see one of them come as Gunslingers is also pretty wild.
We've got East up there too, right? So that's no, not top ball action. East is the new blood here for the Falcons.
And we got Vlad knocking on our door saying, oh, Group Yellow's Group of Death, huh? Group Green, man.
Okay.
Insane stuff. You can see all the teams that are going to be advancing on to play tomorrow with 12 matches to decide who can make top 6 and who can make it to the grand finals over in London. Not to mention, you guys at home, there are tickets still available between the 6th and 8th of December over in the UK. I'm pretty happy with these teams. I think there's definitely a couple surprises in there. I'm still going to say, for me, one of the biggest surprises, Major Pride. Like, they looked horrible in PMSL, but they have looked amazing so far in PMGC. But I really could not tell you with certainty really any of these teams are going to qualify with how crazy these lobbies have been.
I think I have maybe 1-2 teams that I'm like, I think are going to make a top 6, and a few teams that like, I don't think they're going to qualify. But in the middle of the pack right now, Hot Chooks, there's so many questions to be really asked. I know. I mean, we'll have a good idea of what to expect going in the first day tomorrow of Last Chance. But man, good luck predicting all 6 teams because no clue.
Who's the feeder teams, man? You know, like normally you look at like a lobby, like, okay, there's like maybe 1 or 2. Okay, well, Hot Juice just went straight into it. My intention was to say there's really not many feeder teams. Like you're getting into a lobby where everyone is so closely matched.
Yeah. The only reason why I say Loops is because they really pissed me off that last match, man. I mean, it was really hard to watch. Honestly, the way FaZe played it and went all out and played their game, I would have personally rather seen them there. I would think they would have had a better shot at top 6. Loops, I need to see them like go, tonight, talk to their coach and just form themselves, because they played that last match way too soft. So if they want to, make a name for themselves, I mean, they still have a big opportunity, a full reset, but I need to see the Loops of old come out. I mean, tomorrow, without a doubt.
I mean, for a team that this is their first PMGC, I think they've done pretty impressive, but I'm not going to necessarily disagree with you either here, Hot Jukes.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. You got to be able to get it done, and hopefully they can.
Well, you know what? It would not be another day here at PMGC without checking in with Seven once again here towards the end of the show. So he's going to be down on stage with 3 different... What do you got for us, Seven?
I'm joined by none other than Paraparajin Perigin from DX, finishing in first place. They just put up such an amazing performance. How confident is the team feeling going into Last Chance, especially with what you guys did here in Survival Stage?
Hôm nay các bạn đã thi đấu có một màn trình diễn rất là ấn tượng. Vậy thì bây giờ khi các bạn vào vòng Last Chance thì mức độ tự tin của bạn là bao nhiêu?
Em nghĩ thì sự tự tin của tụi em tầm khoảng 50% thôi.
I think our confidence level is about 50%.
Oh, okay. Honest answer too. Caught me a bit off guard there. I like the honesty. Now, who will be your strongest opponent going into Last Chance?
Vậy trong vòng Last Chance thì đối thủ mạnh nhất của các bạn sẽ là ai?
Em nghĩ đối thủ mạnh nhất của tụi em là vòng bo. Tại vì có bo thì tụi em bắn hết thôi. Chứ em chẳng sợ tên nào hết.
I think our strongest opponent is the circles, because as long as the circles are there, we can perform and we're not afraid of any other teams.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to end up doing in Survival Stage. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Now, as I mentioned, that team did end up in first place. Great performance. Even was able to get more points in Survival Stage than last year's first place in Survival Stage with 113 points this year. Now, you gotta mix it up. It's the last day of Survival Stage. Before we go into Last Chance, I got none other than Bigatron Satarles. You guys were just barely able to clutch up there and secure the spot into Last Chance. What are you guys' thoughts going into Last Chance?
Oke, jadi kalian hampir-hampir nggak lolos lah, dan ini bisa dibilang peringkat yang bisa dibilang hoki lah lolosnya kan, dengan performa yang tidak begitu bagus. Menurut kamu sendiri, apa yang kamu harapkan di Last Chance nanti?
Untuk di Last Chance, semoga rezeki lah. Kalau memang rezeki, pasti kita bisa lolos langsung nanti.
So basically, I hope we can make it to London. I mean, if it's for us, it's gonna be for us also. So yeah.
What changes do you think you'll have to make it to top 6?
Okay, so jadi apa perubahan yang kamu rasa kamu harus ganti lah di Last Chance nanti supaya kamu bisa lolos ke London?
Mungkin kayak evaluasi dari komunikasi sih. Kita bisa lebih komitin lagi nanti untuk di Last Chance. Semua kita hantam lah.
Okay, so basically our biggest homework that need to be done is fix our communication. I think that's the most important part, and yeah, we're just gonna crush the Last Chance.
And one more, just because I gotta channel my inner Dennis, all right? What do you think it's gonna be their strongest Indonesian team? You guys, or Void Donkey ID?
Oke, jadi ini pertanyaannya cukup bagus sekali. Di manakah tim yang manakah menurut kamu tim terkuat Indonesia saat ini? Tim Begetron ataupun Void Donkey